Welcome, my loves. Knowledge Butterfly, as always, sending you guys out peace, blessings, on abundance. Let me make sure I'm covered up because I'm literally like I was getting into bed and I don't want a peep show. That's why I'm literally sitting in darkness. So, yeah. But as always, sending you guys out peace, blessings, love, and abundance. This video is I received some more information, so I wanted to share more information about the number 44. 44. In my video about the new moon in Cancer and the solar eclipse energy that is just being, like blasted onto the earth, pouring down, raining down onto the earth. I received another layer of understanding of the number 44 and what it means. In the video that I did about the new moon and the total solar eclipse, I was talking about how that had to do with ancient DNA and the ancestors. So the ancestors actually just gave me more clarification on it. So I'm going to share that with you guys and why the number 44 is so powerful. So if any of you guys are familiar with the primordial cells, we have 8 primordial cells. And I remember back, I think in January, I was watching a video of Dr. Limo Bay, shout out to him, where he was talking about the 8 cells in our body that never change. And I think it's called the Ogdoad, Ogdoad, Ogdoad. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. But that never change. These are the only cells in our body that from the time that we are conceived that remain the same. They are in the original, they are original to the body. They never ever change. And when I pulled it up on Google, it said that the primordial germ cells are the common origins of spermatozoa, which is of course sperm, and oocytes. All right, and thus represent the ancestors of the germline. So that's basically the masculine, the spermatozoa, and the oocytes, the feminine energy. When our parents conceive us, those 4 of cells are originated from the mother and 4 from the father, and that makes up our foundation. So remember, the 4 is the number of the foundation. So the primordial cells are our foundation. They never change, no matter what we put in our body, the foods we eat, no matter what we drink, no matter the information we take in, no matter what. Those 8 cells remain the same: 4 feminine and 4 masculine. Okay. And it says, thus represent the ancestors of the germ line. They are the ancestors of the germ line. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to talk about the ancient Egyptians, Cometians, whatever you want to call them. So before we started breaking down our energies into all these other gods, because remember that the gods and goddesses are really us. It's our own energy. But just like you do a child, so you know how in the melanated community we give children all these fucking nicknames, like my uncle used to call me Miss Flippy, like flip the fuck out. I hated the nickname, but because I thought it was weird. But you can think of it in different ways. I can think of it as flip the fuck out, like I will probably be want to pop off and go off, or flippy, like kind of like not really being consistent or type of thing, kind of like flip-flopping or whatever, however you want to put it. But that's how he perceived my energy. And my mom called me my middle name Elisa because that's how she perceived my energy. Most people call me Tiffany. That's how they perceive my energy. When I start working in retail and things like that, and other and jobs, people would call me Tiff or whatever. Like, people had the different names for me. In Jamaica, people call me Ely or Ellie or whatever. Again, however people perceive your energy. So each person that you come in contact with is going to have a different perception of your energy. That is how we That is how we named our gods. Our gods were named based upon whatever energy we kind of wanted to exude. We want to magnetize. We wanted to magnify. So that's how we started coming up with all these different names of gods and goddesses. And then we kind of got out of control with it because we started to worship that energy that was actually us. So we were looking at it as it was higher than us, but we created that out of our own energy. Okay. So before we did all of that, we actually had the Ogdod, and the Ogdod were the original 8 gods and goddesses that represented our 8 primordial cells. Okay, our 8 primordial cells. Remember that. Okay. Now those let me just read this little excerpt from I pulled up on these 8 gods. The legends and myths surrounding of the emergence of the 8 Egyptian gods and goddesses who formed the Ogdod of Hermopolis, the Egyptian Kamunu, and you see got Mu in there. Kamunu, Khmunu, has Mu in there, the lost city of Mu. And I was actually reading a book, the Children of Mu, and the Lost Continent of Mu. James Churchward wrote the book. The Children of Mu was written back in 1931, and he was trying to infer that the children of Mu were actually white people. But of course, we know that they did that because he was trying to insinuate themselves into our ancient history. And it's neither here nor there because we know the truth, so there's no need to even feel a way about it. The ancestors just utilize him as a tool so that we can remember who the fuck we are. Now, moving along, so the Egyptian Kamunu, ancient Egypt. The definition of the Ogdod is basically a collection of 8 gods. The Ogdod of Hermopolis, Kamunu, consisted of 4 pairs of male and 4 pairs of female deities, 4 and 4, 44. The male aquatic gods were represented by the heads of frogs, and the female goddesses were represented by the heads of snakes. All right, that Kundalini, right? The names of the Ogdod gods were Amen and Amenet, Hay and Hahet, Kek and Kaket, and Nun and Nanet. That is the name that we named each one of those primordial cells. Okay, so now that we are in the sign of Cancer and we're coming home, you know, a lot of us are tapping into that ancient shit. Okay, and so that number 44, that is why that is a number for our ancient DNA, because that is the only DNA that is in our human body that never changes. That's the only DNA that stays the same. So that's really where that 44 comes from. And again, shout out to Blue Pillar, because Blue Pillar is the one that helped me really stay focused on, I need to know what the fuck the 44 means, because like I said, the 144 had been chasing me. And so Spirit is now like, and the ancestors are now telling me what that 44 means, and what they're telling me, the 44 is really that magic. That's really how you make shit pop off. That's the reason why, you know, like Jay-Z and Beyonce, they know that 4 is powerful. Shit, she had 4 tattooed on her finger, and that she was tattooing that for the I'm not sure she was tattooing that because she consciously knew, or unconsciously, whatever, but that 4 represented her. She was representing her 4, which was the 4 original, or the 4 pairs of the female deities, and then he would have been representing the 4 pairs of the male. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's in each one of us, it's not separated. That 8 is in each individual, whether, you know, female or male. You know, the physical representation is the female and the masculine and the male body. But anywho, so the mythology of the water gods of the Ogdod of Hermopolis centered around stories of where the first gods came from and their relationship to each other. So again, all of this mythology, all of this has to do with who we are. It's not for us to go worshiping, you know, shit, bitch, I'm Amen, you know, I'm Nanette, I'm whoever. No, sweetie. It literally is the type of energy that is inside of you, and it was used in order for whatever we wanted to manifest. We called upon that energy, and it propelled it higher, because always know that the names are important, and names mean things. Names actually describe the the type of god or goddess that you are. So again, like Amen and Amenet. Amen is the hidden God, it's the hidden light. So Amenet is the goddess form of Amen. So you have the god and the goddess, but they're really one and the same. It's just one is masculine energy and one is feminine energy. So one is positive energy and one is negative energy. That's it. And then we all know Kek. Kek is the frog, and that is who Donald Trump used in order to during his campaign, and people were calling it, I totally can't think of the name that they were calling it right now. Pepe. The frog is what they named it, but the Egyptian energy, it was Kek, and the feminine is Keket. So literally using our shit, tapping into that dark magic, because they're tapping into that 4-4, that primordial energy. As long as you tap into the primordial energy, you have no choice but to win. You have no choice but to succeed. That is that original, authentic shit. That's our shit. All right? But it's the foundation of your DNA, which is the foundation of who we are. And then the number 8 taps into Saturn. So you have the 4 for the representing like the mother, that foundation, and then when you put them together, double it, the 8, that represents the father. So that's like Cancer and Capricorn right there. The moon and Saturn. The definition of Ogdoad means 8. See if there's anything else I really want to. They're talking about major cult centers that we had and all that other stuff, because again, that was the downfall. We literally over there worshiping our own energy, when the deities were created, like I said, not for us to worship it, but for us to magnify our energy. What else? Shit, that's really it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. That my spirit and the ancestors. I mean, I was dozing, y'all. I was like this, and it's like, this what 4-4 means. I said, well, damn. Okay. I got you. I totally got you, because and I gave thanks and appreciation for that information, because the ancestors are on it. So yeah, that's all I want to share with you guys. So I definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. If there is any more information for me to expand on, I definitely will. I definitely record videos. The videos are coming much quicker now, as you can see, because the information, the ancestors like get that shit out. And I honestly, it's been a whole lot more information coming to me, but I took a break from like getting into to work, because honestly, YouTube videos is part of my job. This is what I do, sharing information. This is one of the things that I do. But I was outside like on my childlike shit over there, doing my flying like a plane and dancing and twerking and shit and listening to my music. That's why I was posting that Drake shit, because I had got into his, had to delve into some of his old music to really like, it just gave me confirmation of the video that I did about him. But anywho's, yes, I was having a good old time out there, y'all, just dancing and singing and just like a child, because that was one of the intentions I said today, that I was going to have fun, and I laughed and whatever. We got to do, that's another thing we got to do. We have another reason why my breakthroughs are coming is because I'm taking time to have fun. I was dancing with my shadow. The sun is shining, so I see my shadow. I'm in my shadow dancing. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do that shit. That Mars and Leo, we got to do that shit. Mars is that passion. It really is the active. It's very active energy, and it's very passionate energy. And then Leo, is about shining your light. It is lighthearted, having fun. It's being, creative and having a good time. And so that's what we have to do, guys, in order to be able to understand what the fuck is going on right now and to get the most out of it. So Like I said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm going to end the video on that note. If you want to subscribe to my video, you can click on the link that's in the video. If you want to follow me on my social media, I have my Instagram and my Facebook links in the description box, as well as if you want to send me a love donation, I am very, very open to it. You can donate through my Cash App or my PayPal. So that's all I have for you guys. Have a really beautiful night, my loves. Peace.